Hi, guys, and welcome to the Be Seen Virtual Pro program walkthrough. Thank you so much for actually your interest. And before we move along, I want to clarify who is this program for, right? Because obviously, if you're going to invest the time, you want to make sure that this is relevant for you. And so, who is that group of people that we have thought about when we put together our program? Well, first of all, these are the people that we know the best because they're the ones that we work with all the time over the last couple of years. And those are event organizers. Whether you're working in a company that organizes conferences, whether you are a freelancer, or you are part of an in house team in a larger organization where you put events for the different departments, if you are involved with events, if you now need to think about virtual events and you need to think about hybrid events, professional webinars, if you want to set up studios, all that stuff, then this is relevant for you. But at the same time, we have the group of community managers. So if you're working in either a SaaS company or a regular business that it is community powered and you see how you need to be creating content all the time, then this program is also relevant for you. So make sure to stick around so that you can learn more about Virtual Pro. At the same time, if you're a marketing team, let's say maybe you want to grow the digital space, you want to focus more on virtual events, you see the potential of organizing conferences online to expand the reach, grow an email list, you want to create more of it, then this is going to be very relevant for you because you will be able to create more professional content as you go through Virtual Pro. And the last group that we have thought about when we started putting together this program is actually marketing agencies. If your clients have been asking about virtual events, professional corporate webinars, then this program is also very relevant for you. As you can see, in general, all these groups have one thing in common, and it is that more and more you need to create content online to expand your reach, engage your community, and overall keep your business growing. As the world jumped online, now your footprint it's not local anymore, it's not regional anymore, but we are all competing on a global scale. And so if you fall into one of these categories, if you have been experimenting with virtual events at some point, maybe you're just using Zoom, maybe OBS, and you want to grow from there and start delivering more professional events, then this program is for you. So make sure to stick around. Because in general, if you feel constrained, because every time that you need to put together a virtual event, you need to subcontract somebody like us, a professional production company, and you wanna put your vision into action, but you feel that the project scope changes, therefore the price changes. You want to create more content, but each time you need to hire a company. Well, that's exactly what this program is going to do. We are going to walk you through the process that we exactly use to produce virtual events for our clients. And so that way, you yourself can also produce professional virtual events in house without having to subcontract so that you can produce more content, and especially without having to hire new staff, without having to buy expensive equipment, and all within 30 days. That's exactly what Virtual Pro is all about. We are going to walk you through exactly what we use, the tools, the resources, everything, so that you can then take your team, already existing team members, train them, and then start producing professional virtual content. Because we know from our experience as we work with our clients, every team has that person that is excited about technology, has that one person that it's eager to jump on the task of figuring out virtual events. And so that person has the huge task to see how you can jump and figure out all the tech that you need for virtual production. Now, the only problem is that all this person can do is either go on YouTube and watch lots of tutorials, read blog posts, and then make a lot of mistakes while being live. I tell you, we started this back already in 2018, and the process has been quite long to get on this level. And so if you want to be able to produce that quality in-house, then this is the program for you, because we see that you see the potential on improving the skills. But obviously, where can you learn this stuff? Normally universities are teaching it, or other companies like us, they don't want to give away their trade secrets. Now we understand that actually more and more companies want to create more content, and that stuff is going to come in-house. And so it is important for us, as we also produce events, but that we also get to support you. There are a lot of companies out there that want to learn this content, and we want to make sure that you're able to scale, because we truly believe in the power of live video and the potential that it has to scale your business. And so in this video, we're going to cover three main things. The first is, what kind of productions would you be able to do after virtualPRO? I think this is quite important to clarify here, where obviously you will still need to hire a production company for big events. I mean, your team is limited, complexity scales very fast. And so we want to make sure that you have a clear overview of what is possible with Virtual Pro. Then number two, it is how it is to work with us. And actually, how does that program look like? What is the process that we have created? Because what we did is we look into 99% of the events that we produce, and we took our proprietary knowledge, our proprietary process, and package it into a way that then you can easily bring that into your company, into your systems. It integrates and it allows you to start producing events on a scalable way. We're producing up to 3 events on the same day. Imagine how important it is that you have the proper systems and the processes, templates, scripts, everything in place in order to deliver the quality that people expect, because clients are putting their brand on our hands. But at the same time, we are a business and obviously we want to grow. And so all that stuff we are going to be going through in this video. And last but not least, well, what does that mean? What exactly it is that you get when you join Virtual Pro? What are you going to get at the end of the day? What will you have with you once you complete the program? So before I can go into all that, I would like to go ahead and share with you a little bit of how we got here. Because in order to understand what we do today, I think it's key to see where we're coming from. And the whole thing started actually is because I am a moderator. I've been on the stage for over 10 years. I host startup competitions, conferences. I deliver workshops on storytelling and so on. And so I get to work with a lot of event organizers. I help them develop the program for their event. I deliver that program. I engage their participants. I create that unique experience for them. And back in 2016, I came across Facebook Live. I was working with a team of people here in Vienna, and one of the guys said, "Hey, we should stream our event." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" Well, Facebook Live has this new tool that actually allows you to just go live from your phone. I'm like, "Show me this." And this is back in the day where you could only use Facebook and it would only be vertical and only from your phone. But we decided to give it a try. And there was so much engagement that it just blew my mind. At that moment, I fell in love with live video, because already back then I had been in over more than 10 countries, anywhere from Iran to Norway to Georgia, Israel, Belgium, and so on and so on. And we were creating so good content in those places that could be shared with the world, but it was just getting lost right there. And so I was motivated to try to figure out, how can we show these to event organizers to start streaming their events? And so we went around here in Vienna. We started talking to event organizers because I knew them from my moderations. And guess what? We got to start streaming some events. This is actually our very first experience, my very first experience. That's me on the stage moderating the event. This was from a phone all the way in the back. And you can see there it was April 8th, 2016. From there, I did not know what I was getting myself into, because technology is completely different. We started with phones and now we're using professional equipment. But the path to get to where we are today was really challenging. Now, what I think that gives us a quite unique opportunity or positioning is actually the fact that because I started on the stage, because I've been working with event organizers, because I understand how to create a space for the audience, I understand how to put together the program and take that audience on a journey. Once I started experimenting with technology and added the live video, the live streaming effect, then I was also moderating those live streams. And so I started seeing how do we need to deliver the content? What's the difference here with the audience? Now we're talking to a camera, we're not talking to a physical audience in front of us. How is that working? And then lastly, producing those events, being behind the scenes, understanding the technology, what are the limitations, what are the potentials, understanding how the clients, what is their vision, and how we can use the technology in order to fulfill that. It has been quite an incredible journey, and we have learned a lot along the way. But unfortunately, when it comes to production, this is something that is very limited to the place where you are. And we see that we know a lot and we can really help you thanks to our unique overview, our unique background. And so that's why we have been working really hard to put together this program that we decided to call Virtual Pro. Now, I want to show you a little bit of events and that we have been able to do. As you can see, in the last in the last year, we have delivered over 100 events here in the city of Vienna, anywhere from hybrid to virtual to studios, together with my team. And we have learned a lot. But one thing that is quite clear is that we can say that we are a professional production company of virtual events that is able to deliver without the stress of tech. Now, what are a couple of things that are possible with this program? And I want to bring attention to the potential that this program can offer. And that is, on the one hand, we have a startup competition. Everybody was fully remote. We have quite particular challenges when it comes to startup competitions because you have many different groups of stakeholders. You have jury, you have the moderator, you have the sponsors, audience, partners, startups, and how you can bring all that together. Well, figuring that out is something that you can do with Virtual Pro. We ran the Startup World Cup Austria for the Austrian Angel Investor Association together with the Austrian startups, and it was quite a successful event. At the same time, we work with the Vienna Business Agency and the Industrial and Commercial Bank of China, the largest bank in the world. They wanted, because of their partnership, they wanted to do an event where you had speakers in Austria and speakers in China. And at the same time, you had an audience in Austria and Europe, and you had an audience in China. Well, how do you bring those two together? That's also something that we managed to put together using our proprietary system. Then we have Austrian standards. This is the main organization responsible for making sure that all the industries have the minimum standards and they're able to bring the quality of production higher. Well, they wanted to do an event for the construction industry where they get to connect them and also provide some updates and strategies for the year. Well, this was an event with a lot of participants. We're talking more than 12 participants within 1 hour event. And so that's also something that you would learn here with Virtual Pro if the case happens that you need something like that. Then we have the guys from TEDx Vienna, where in the middle of the pandemic, right in the beginning, 2 months into it, they wanted to create a virtual event where people who have been trapped at home alone are able to connect with others, network, interact, at least have some kind of social experience. And so we were able together using virtual event platforms to create quite a unique event that not only delivered quality content in the TEDx format, but as well was able to engage the TEDx community. I mean, TEDx Vienna is more than 10 years old and normally quite a good case practice when it comes within the TEDx network. Then we have once again the Vienna Business Agency, but in this case, the city of Vienna is responsible for also attracting companies to Vienna. That's what the Vienna Business Agency is doing. And so we have been able to support them in create virtual events that allow them to showcase the city, to showcase potential people that are interested, entrepreneurs on bringing businesses here so that they can see what they can take advantage of. And now for that, we're able to involve different institutions and agencies that are part of the network so that those prospects can really see how they can benefit from coming here. Quite another challenge because obviously you have institutions that are more established and more conservative and more traditional. You have many different age groups, which means different levels of knowledge in the types of technology. And therefore, as well, we're able to guide them through to deliver a successful event so that people are not just figuring out, okay, how do I share my slides? What happens next? How this whole thing works out, but instead deliver a valuable experience for those participating. And last but not least, we have Talentify, who was having an event in German here in Austria for their German audience, but at the same time, they have an office in the Czech Republic. And so they wanted to do a multi language event where they have German speakers and a main event in German. You have Czech speakers who do not speak German with interpreters, and they're able to participate. And so the German audience could listen to the Czech speakers in German, while the Czech speakers are able to follow the whole event in Czech. Talk about logistics. And so I really hope this gives you an overview of all the stuff that is possible within Virtual Pro. Our experience, the couple of years work that we have put together to get here, and all that is in one program delivered to you. Now, many more events. As I said, we have more than 100 events, at least in the last year, with some projects, 3 in the same day. And so, obviously, all that push us to be as streamlined as possible, as effective as possible. And therefore, there's a lot of knowledge and experience and materials that we can share with you. Now, how does Virtual Pro look like? What is that process that I keep mentioning, that proprietary system? Well, pretty much it goes like this. First, we have the planning stage, and this is the very beginning. From there, we go into the preparation where things start to be put together. And lastly, we have the production stage. In the planning stage, it's always about understanding the vision, what it is that we're trying to achieve, what is the goal of this event. And once we understand where it is that we want to go, we look into the audience, who are supposed to be the people that are going to be participating in this event, and who are what are the resources that we have. When is this event happening? And based on that, we go ahead and establish our workflow. We have already a pre-designed timeline that we know at least what are the minimum dates when things need to happen in order to put together that virtual event. And so once we have that figured out, we go ahead and set up all the equipment. What is the equipment that we need for that event? What is the scope, right? And so all that stuff we are going to be providing to you. You're going to learn how to set the vision so that you can really understand what the event is about, who's the audience, who's the target, who is going to be part of that event, who needs to do what are the roles, how is everything coming together, and then what kind of equipment do you need according to your budget or your needs. From there, you go ahead and put together the virtual event, whether it is an individual platform. I mean, all this is based on the needs and goals of your event. And so whether you're going to use a virtual platform, are you going to go live on YouTube? Are you going to bring people to your website? Are you going to go into a Facebook group? Like whatever it is that you are trying to achieve, what is that goal? From that, also understanding the program. This is one of the biggest pitfalls that we see that virtual organizers struggle with, because they don't, I mean, many times you're just trying to take a physical elements from the physical world into the online space. And a virtual event doesn't really work like that, because a virtual audience has different needs, different expectations. And so we work with you, we show you how to put together programs that are super engaging, really tailored and relevant to your audience, to your partners, so that you can be sure of that valuable and rewarding experience. And then, of course, you get all the stuff when it comes to preparing speakers. I mean, You need to make sure that the moderator understands how to deliver a virtual event. It is not the same as being on the stage. Things don't work the same, and they actually have a bigger role than that of the one that they have on a physical event. Same thing with the speakers. I mean, at the end of the day, the participants want content, and so they are the ones delivering the content. In a physical event, you can delegate the content experience to the speakers while you focus on the physical experience of the venue and all that. But in a virtual event, it's all about the content that is delivered from the speakers. And so, how can you really coach them so that they fit into the program, into the vision that actually solves the problems that your audience needs? And lastly, we go into the whole production. I mean, what is the timeline? When exactly do you need stuff? How can you templatize things so that you're not constantly starting from zero each time you want to do an event, but everything it's already done and you actually minimize the production work. At the same time, how does what happens on the day of production? What kind of software should you use? How to use that software? We have a lot of templates to help you out to simplify the process. What kind of tools can you use that actually have what is called macros, where you press one button and then a whole sequence just happens, and you don't need to worry about all the complexity of these professional production softwares, but it's all simplified right there. And lastly, how can you turn now that content into a 24/7 lead generation machine? And so, how can you showcase and maximize your return on investment, not only on your event, but also on the program? And so, pretty much, this is the process that we work with our customers, our productions here in Vienna. And so, each step is designed to catch a pitfall, to catch a challenge that we see that event organizers struggle with when they're putting together a virtual event. And so, because we worked on that, because we deliver it, all that stuff, it's part of our program. Now, what exactly did you get? Because that's the process. Now you understand how we work. You see how it is that everything looks like. But what exactly did you get? And so I want to give you a better overview of what do you get at the end of Virtual Pro. The first thing is that while you should be able to already go live within 30 days, and so remember, if you're going from Zoom, maybe albeit, we're going to provide you with everything that you need so that you can become a professional. You can use professional live streaming software, but we're going to make sure that you really excel. And so when you join the program, you have 90 days of coaching support, not only with me in terms of concept program, conceptualization of a virtual event and all that area messaging, um, positioning of the event, but also you get support from the tech side. If you're not clear on what equipment to buy, if you're not clear on how to use the software, maybe you want to use something else, you are going to have that support. It's not that you're just going to go through the content and then learn this stuff and then leave you to figure it out by yourself. But actually, you get the support that you need in order to have that machine running as smooth as possible. Then you get the trainings, you get the systems, the templates, the scripts, all the stuff that we use to facilitate and make our production as efficient as possible without sacrificing quality. And this is really the change maker here, because it's going to accelerate your learning process, but also the speed at which you're going to be performing. Then we have all the trainings for moderators, speakers, even your participants when they're coming to your event, making sure that everybody can make the most out of it, but also at the same time that they understand how things work, that they're able to troubleshoot since they're the ones interacting with the audience, also that they're delivering quality content for all your participants, because at the end of the day, all those elements are the ones that bring the overall quality of your virtual production. There's nothing worse than going live. You have speakers that didn't rehearse. They don't know how the software works. They don't know where to look at. I mean, it's really, really challenging. And so we make sure that that doesn't happen anymore. From there, talk about brand alignment. We see many virtual events where the promotion looks one way, the registration page looks one way, then the event maybe it doesn't have graphics, maybe it has some graphics, but then they also look another way. And so we have created three different packages of templates. These are custom made templates that are aligned to your event. And so you can just simply take them, put your colors on them, and then go ahead and start using them. So that way, the journey through which your participant goes through is really aligned. Anywhere from social media and your ads to your registration page to the actual event. From there, we have obviously the production software, like how to use it, where can you get it, how to use it, how it works, how to set it up, how to troubleshoot, how to make sure that everything is working, how to create templates, how to automate a lot of that process to make it as simple as possible for you. And at the same time, what kind of equipment should you buy? What should you get? I mean, if you're trying to do a desk studio, what should you buy? If you want to set up a studio in your office where you have two people interacting with one another, or you have four people interacting with one another, what exactly should be that equipment that you're going to get? And so I hope this gives you an overview. There's also more stuff that is there. I mean, the whole idea is to make it as simple as possible so that you can then be flying within 30 days, but you know that you have support up to 90 days. And so if it is not clear yet, I mean, I managed to take a couple of pictures of different productions that you can envision. If you want to set up a studio in your office where you can really bring professional equipment and start going live with that, that's definitely something that you can do. You can see here her on the screen. You can see her in our client's studio and how it looks online. That's sort of the things that you can do. Here is in another event that we produce. In this case, you have two speakers at the same time, and then we are able then to combine that with the graphics, videos, and all that stuff to go live. Here we have another studio production that we set up at a client's office. And so you can start envisioning what exactly it is that you can achieve with this program, and if this is something that may work for you. Because if that's the case, I encourage you right now to just simply go ahead and book a call. Click the button underneath this video and let's just discuss if maybe this is something for you. If you have been wondering, hey, we have an event, we have somebody, we're creating all these events, but it's really cost is getting out of hand, and we have somebody who really is eager to learn, they want to figure it out, but it's just taking too long, then this is perfect for you, because we're going to go ahead and train this person, show you everything that you need, so that then you're not limited on how many productions that you do. You don't need to hire new people because you already have somebody in the team. You don't need to spend crazy amounts on equipment that a lot of the time, because people who are in the field, they're crazy about this stuff. But us on the business side, we know that we don't need that level of quality. We don't need that level of production. And so how can you really make sure that you get the stuff that makes sense without going crazy with the budget? And so if this sounds like something that'll be for you, if you have been doing some events on Zoom and you want to bring them to the next level, but you're not sure that how to do that because the skills are not in-house and you constantly are hiring an external company, well, this is definitely the program for you. Book a call downstairs. You can simply, we'll give you clarity on the process. Like if you have some questions on how you can quickly improve what you do, we'll provide you with an action plan and give you clarity on how you can do that. My name is Juan Guerra. It has been really a pleasure to walk you through this process. I'm the founder of BScene, and we started back in December of 2018. It has been quite a journey, and I'm super excited to share all those learnings with you so that then you can fly even further, scaling your business, attracting customers, engaging your community, because that's exactly what we're striving for. That's the ultimate goal at the end of the day. Thank you so much. And go ahead and book your call by clicking the button below. And I'll go ahead and see you once you schedule it. See you there.